What is up, Hellions? Welcome to another video. So this video is a little bit different. I actually purchased a very large collection off of Facebook Marketplace from someone who has had their Pokemon collection ever since they were a kid, and they had just binders and boxes and stuff full of Pokemon cards, and they were willing to sell it to me for a pretty decent price. So we're gonna actually go through what I bought, what came in the purchase, and then what cards I will probably send in to get graded. Just go over the entire thing, I guess. So kind of gonna be a chill video today, and we're not opening any packs or anything. I'm just gonna show you kind of what kind of deals you can find on Facebook Marketplace. This seller, all of his cards were from the WotC era, so mostly from base set Jungle, Fossil, base set 2, Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, and then the 4 Neo sets, or 3 Neo sets. 4, 3, something like that. The Neo sets, all the way up until Neo Destiny, and then that's kind of when it cut off. So not very many cards past Neo Destiny. Everything is older than that. I would say 99% of the cards are unlimited, so you're not really going to see a lot of first edition in here. Most of it's unlimited. But I will say he was very completionist. He had nearly full sets of all of those sets, especially the commons and uncommons, which is pretty awesome because I did not have those full sets, and now I just have binders that are like full sets of uncommons and uncommons of all of those sets and unlimited. So I was able to add all that to my collection. Plus we still have all of this, which is all common, uncommon, and non-holo rare bulk. All of this stuff, which is pretty insane. So I just want to show you a little bit how I went through and organized it, and then I don't know, maybe it will help you in the future if you pick up a large purchase like this, organizing stuff in a way. So I organized not only by set, so I made sure, you know, Neo Destiny was separated from Neo Revelation, from base set, stuff like that, obviously. And then I also separated by condition, so cards that I thought looked really clean, maybe near mint, close to near mint, from the ones that looked more played. I can kind of show you guys like in what condition a lot of these cards were in. You can see I separated them by condition based on what sleeve I put them in. So actually the more played cards I put in kind of the Elite Trainer Box sleeves. I had a ton of these laying around, and I felt like it was just easier for me to figure out, all right, those are the ones I marked as, you know, moderately played, maybe even lightly played. And then these, you know, we have some movie cards in there as well. These are the cards that I would consider like in near mint condition. These are really, really clean. Let me take it out and show you. I mean, this is essentially, I mean, that's almost mint condition because there's literally nothing going on the back of this card. Nice little hop up here. But yeah, very, very nice. There's a little ding in the top right, but otherwise very clean card. Basically, all of the cards that are in these sleeves are pretty dang clean. I'm not going to say that they're all mint. Some of them do have some wear, but you know, I got a lot. There's probably 1,000 cards of bulk here, and I'm not exactly sure how I should go about selling these yet because it would be a lot of work to do them one by one. We actually have some Topps cards too. Topps is a really cool set if you guys haven't seen these before. They do come in like holographic form as well. And some of the Topps cards can actually go for a lot. You know, the Charizard, the Blastoise, stuff like that if they're in good condition. These are in pretty decent condition as well. I feel like sports cards and the Topps cards, because they have the pointed corners, it's a lot easier for the corners to get fucked up. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to show this, but it is just a lot of bulk. So it's all just bulk cards. A lot of the cards are in very, very good condition. Probably full sets in here. But yeah, I don't... not quite sure how I want to list these, how I want to try and move them. Since I already made full sets in my binders, doesn't really make sense to hold on to the rest of the bulk. So we'll figure out how to move these. I'll move these actually out of the way, and then I'll show you kind of the cards that I thought were really, really good, and probably cards that I would grade. All right, so as some of you guys probably know, if you've been trying to grade cards with CGC or PSA or whatever, bulk is like near impossible to get in a decent time frame. You basically have to wait, you know, 5-6 months to actually get those cards back. So those are, you know, unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it takes that long, and I definitely made a mistake earlier this year sending a bunch of modern cards in to bulk from like Vivid Voltage and stuff, because those cards are getting hard to move now because people have moved on from Vivid Voltage. They're excited about Chilling Reign and Battle Styles and Evolving Skies and stuff. So a lot of these great, bulk submissions that I got back from Vivid Voltage are a little bit more difficult to move, especially at a much lower price than they were before. So watch out for that. It's going to take a long time. Might be worth just grading the cards that are going to hold value over time. Probably a good idea. All right, so with the collection that I purchased, so we got the thousands of bulk cards over there. We also got a ton of kind of bulk cards that I felt like were in really good condition. I pulled out like all the evolutions. Look at that first edition Charmander, that's pretty sick. And so we have some Japanese cards in here, we have some English cards in here. My favorite card of all time, Dark Charmeleon, hell yeah. And a lot of the starters and stuff. Those, to me, are more kind of worth possibility of getting graded. We also got a ton of unlimited hollows from the collection, which were very cool. But these, in particular, these are actually listed on my eBay right now for auction, because these are kind of the cards that are definitely not as in good condition as some of the other ones that I want to get graded. Let me see if I can find one to show you kind of the general condition problems with these guys here. It's funny, this guy, this guy's collection was pretty insane. It was actually really nice. As you can see, quite a bit of wear around the corners here. Pretty beat up. It's got a lot of stuff basically all the way around. You can see even a crease right there. Pretty rough to say the least for some of these cards. So I just put these up on eBay with some really good pictures, and people are bidding on them now. They'll probably sell in the next day or two, just to get these ones out of the way. Definitely not going to send them in for grading. If you've ever graded, basically if a card has a crease, you're screwed. As far as I can tell from other videos and things, it's like if the card has a crease, it goes immediately down to like a 7, at most a 7, possibly even like a 4 or a 5, depending on how severe the crease is. But you're definitely taking a hit on cards that have creases, that's for sure. All right, let me go through quick this stack here. So this stack is, I showed you a little bit, but this is a lot of the bulk stuff that I kind of deem to be in really good condition that I'll probably put in like a bulk submission someday. Hopefully, I'm kind of waiting for CGC to lower their prices again, if they will. It's possible that they never will, and in that case, I will probably, I might second guess sending these bulk, because bulk submission right now is like $15 a card, and that's kind of a lot for bulk. But as you can see, there's a little bit, of corner wear, a little bit of corner wear up there, but overall, pretty clean looking card for the Dark Dragonite. And then I would say most of these cards are in a similar condition to that. I don't really know what that would get me in terms of a grade to have wear like that, maybe like a 7 or an 8. The first edition Charmander looks pretty clean on the back, definitely some corner wear all the way around, but overall pretty nice. Japanese cards are cards that I've been really into recently, and I think that there's going to be more interest in the future for Japanese cards because, well, first of all, Japanese cards don't have, at least the very early ones like base set and stuff, they don't have first edition. They just had the set. there wasn't multiple different sets. Obviously, when you're collecting like the WotC cards in English, right now you kind of want the first edition ones. I think that obviously some people can't pay for the first edition ones, but they still want the card, so they're willing to go for unlimited. But I think over time, the first edition ones are more rare, they're more sought after, and if you can get your hands on some nice first edition cards, it's probably the way to go. But obviously there's still a place for WotC Unlimited as well, because they're just iconic cards, definitely iconic. When I stopped collecting as a kid, I stopped collecting around the Neo era, so a lot of the cards past the Neo era, kind of the Sky Ridges and the E series and Delta Species and all that stuff, I never got into because I kind of just stopped collecting at that point. And so I've kind of been like discovering sets that people have known about for a long time now, and just seeing how cool some of the cards are, like some of the Gold Star cards and some of the Delta Species cards. Like, Who would have thought that they would do a set where they change all of the, like, they change up all of the types of the Pokemon, you know, like, electric Charmander and like, who would have, you know, I don't know, that's such a weird concept to me, you know? So you're probably thinking, like, why in the hell did you spend, you know, $2,500 on this collection at this point? Because there's really nothing here of significant value yet. So now we start to get into the actual, these are cards I bought recently, not a part of the collection. Now we're starting to get into the actual, like, meat of the collection is this stack, plus a few other cards that I have over here. Lugia. So we definitely have more of the meat here. These came from the Neo binder. He actually had the full binder. I took these out because I wanted to get them graded, obviously. But they are very, very clean. You could tell that they never left the binder. He never took them out of the binder. So they're extremely clean on the corners, and the hollows are super clean. Most of the hollows, and I don't even know if he knew, because I brought them up, that a lot of his hollows have swirls, which he didn't seem to really care. But I don't know how, like, 80% of his holographic cards had swirls, and he didn't even know about it. He had to have known about it. There's, you know, because it's pretty sought after for a collector to want the swirls in the holographic. But now let's go through this stack. This is the stack of hollows that I'm going to get graded. I'm very excited as well, because I haven't gotten a lot of vintage cards graded. I have only gotten, like, modern cards graded. And so I'm excited to get some vintage cards graded to kind of see if I'm a decent judge at figuring out what grades cards will get or not. So we got a nice Rocket Scyther, probably one of my favorite Scyther artworks in general. This card is just really cool. And it's pretty clean on the back. You can see all of these cards were in a binder, so most of them have some edge wear and some light corner wear. But hopefully will get, you know, decent grades. Most of the hollows, as far as I could tell, aren't very scratched up, so hopefully the surface grades will be pretty decent. This is actually from my collection from when I was a kid. I will be sending this one in as well. First edition Vaporeon Jungle. Looks pretty clean on the back. I still have a collection from when I was young. So yeah, some of these, this Smeargle's from my collection as well from when I was young. Very clean Smeargle though, so I think Smeargle is one of those cards that it's really hard to get in a high grade because the holographic is mostly white. Like, it's a bright holographic. Same with, like, Lugia, stuff like that. Like the T17 Typhlosion or whatever. So this is what I was talking about. So most of his cards, you can see the swirl up there. Most of his, like, Japanese hollows and other hollows have swirls. And I mentioned it. I was like, holy crap. Like, that you know, we'll look at a couple Charizards too. You know, that Charizard has an amazing swirl, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, he didn't even realize it. But yeah, that's almost like a double swirl. That's like a swirl inside of a swirl. That's really cool. But yeah, overall, pretty clean cards. Pretty clean cards. Definitely have a little wear here and there, but, you know, we got some Japanese hollows. We'll go through these. I think I'm in the Japanese section. We got a nice Japanese Dragonite holographic, one of my favorite Dragonites, just because the background is so beautiful. That kind of rainbow background color right behind the adorable looking Dragonite. This one though has a ding somewhere. Yeah, just a tiny little ding on the left, but that could get a pretty decent grade. We got Golduck, these Golduck, Dark Vileplume. All of these are in really nice condition, all these Japanese ones. Skarmory. Skarmory apparently grades pretty well because there's not a lot of hollow. You have, like, all of this is black, all of this is black, so you only have this section of holographic, which apparently Skarmory grades pretty well because of that. A lot less hollow to get scratched, you know? Brock's Rhydon. And we actually, okay, so I said that they were all WotC, and now you're gonna make me look like a liar. So I said they're all WotC, but he did have actually a couple of Diamond Pearl things. So he actually has Diamond, from the Diamond and Pearl. This was a promo in Empoleon Level X. It was still in the tin, so I don't think it ever came out of the tin. Unfortunately, the promos that are in the tins, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't think you'll be able to see, oh, you can kind of see it there. You see right there. There's a little shadow there. It's got the little dings from the little nubs that hold the cards in place in the cases for the stuff. It's still a beautiful card, but yeah, it's definitely got little damage from where it was being held in from the nubs. So I don't really expect a very good grade on that because it's got, you know, dents on 2 sides of the card, so it's probably not going to be great. But this, I think, came from a pack because it's pretty clean. Electivire Level X, very cool looking card. I was not collecting around the time of the Level X's, so this was really cool to include in the collection. Obviously a little wear here and there, but should hopefully get a decent grade. Alrighty, look at these bad boys. The movie promos, the Ancient Muse. One of these is very clean. One of these has a little bit of a... Which one is it? This one. Can you see it? Can I capture it? There it is. See right there, there's a crease. Small crease. Right there. Some of these I would send into grade just because I really want to see how much something like that affects a card. Like it's a little bit of a test, you know? Like how much will that affect a grade? Maybe you can tell me in the comments if you know, but I'm not a person who knows a lot of that stuff. I just got into the whole grading game fairly recently, and so that seems pretty minor to me. It's on the back of the card. You can't even really see it on the front. So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't impact it all that much. We got the Entei promo. These are from like Neofile folders too, I think, right? There's a Charizard one of these too, and like a Pichu and something else. I really want to get the Charizard one, but you can tell we have like a half swirl there or a 3/4 swirl. Very cool Entei promo. This one's pretty clean. I think all it has is like this ding here on the right, but overall, pretty nice looking card. Start going through these a little quicker. Dark Persian, another promo. Blossom, very nice. Another Skarmory, this time in English instead of Japanese. Here we go, Dark Espeon. This is one of the big money cards, obviously, because of it's an Espeon. It's an evolution. Everyone loves the evolutions, especially right now with Eevee Heroes coming out. It's big. People really like this card a lot. It's a beautiful card. Neo Destiny has to be considered one of the best sets ever, I think. If you look at the Neo Destiny cards, kind of the light and dark versions of cards and everything in there, just beautiful, beautiful. So Dark Espeon, very clean looking too, so hopefully it'll get a decent grade. Ursaring, we got Hitmontop, Rocket's Trap, Erica, got some Gym Heroes stuff. Rocket Scyther, wait a minute, do I have 2 of these? Hold on, didn't I show you guys one of these? I have 2 of these? What? That's cool. I didn't realize that I had 2 Rocket Scythers. I thought I only had 1. Misty Seadra, the pre-release promo. There's a lot of these out there, so I don't think they hold an incredible amount of value, but this one's really clean, so it should get a pretty decent grade. Lieutenant Surge's Magneton, Brock's Rhydon, Brock's Ninetales. All right, this is another one. Not sure. I gotta find it, actually. I gotta find it because it's really hard to see. It's on the front, right? Yeah. This one is more on the front. Can we get some light on it? You can see it kind of right there to the left of the light there. There's a little bit of a crease at the top. Again, this is kind of like a test. I want to send in and see how much a crease like that actually affects the grade. I'm assuming it will affect it quite a lot. I'm assuming that the cards with creases will come back and they'll be like 5, 6s, at most maybe 7s, but I'm assuming that the crease will you know, be quite a bit of damage. Giovanni's Nidoking, sorry. I love Nidoking. Nidoking is underappreciated, I feel like. Venusaur, the big boy. This one's pretty clean, I think. It's got some edge wear, some corner wear, but any of these like OG starters, Venusaur, Blastoise, obviously Charizard, getting them graded, like even a 6 or a 7, I think for that card is like $100. So if you get it graded for $15, you know, you're coming out pretty good. Raichu, iconic Nidoking. We've got all these Beautiful base set 2 hollows. The hollow pattern in base set 2 is just epic. Very awesome. I loved it in comparison to the regular base set hollows. Mewtwo. Iconic Mewtwo card. Man, whenever I think of cards, you know, from when I was a kid, it's all of these. It's literally all of these. There's so much nostalgia wrapped up in the WotC era. Hey, speaking of Dark Blastoise. So, Gyarados, base set 2. I think we have a couple base set Gyarados in here as well. We've got Dark Blastoise, the Swirl. Beautiful. I actually have one of these that's being graded right now. The Swirl is down by its butt. I call him the farting Blastoise because it looks like it's coming out of his ass. It's really funny. We also have a non-hollow version of Dark Blastoise, so I'll probably send both these boys in. My favorite Blastoise card, I would say. I love the Rocket set. Rocket set is probably one of my favorite all-time sets. I think it's just fantastic. So, really love Blastoise in this artwork. They've actually reprinted this artwork in a lot of sets going forward, just because I think it's so good. And of course, it's Mitsuhiro Arita. Arita has some of the best artworks in my opinion. We're going to go faster through these. Dark Slowbro, Dark Magneton, Dark Gyarados pre-release, Dark Golbat, Dark Dugtrio, Dark Arbok, Dark Raichu. This is actually the first secret rare ever. Unfortunately, let me show you guys. Where is it? Same thing as the Ninetales. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it. There it is. You can see it right there. Little crease at the top there. Just a little boy. Otherwise, this card is clean. I was so like frustrated when that came out of the binder, because I was like, oh damn, that looks really clean, holy crap. And then I looked at the front and it was like, no. No, it's got another Rocket Sneak Attack and another Muck. Do I have 2 Rocket Sneak Attacks? Am I just looking at the same card over and over again? Moltres, Lapras, Flareon, Evolution, Holographic, Mr. Mimes, Snorlax, Nidoqueen, Blastoise, my boy. This is a beat up card. This card is beat to crap. I was really hoping that this one was going to be nice, but look at that bad boy. Again, a card to like test things. To me, I would assume that this card would get like a 4 or a 5 possibly. Just based on like, that's a lot of edgeware. Maybe even less, but it doesn't have any creases. And I kind of doubt that, I don't know, I kind of doubt that they would give a card with no creases less than like a 4 or 5, unless it was like really severe, which this is pretty severe, but yeah, I mean, you can let me know in the comments what you think that would get. I really have no idea. Gyarados, these 2 Gyarados are very clean. Zapdos, Ninetales, and Clefairy. So, we got all these hollows here to send in for grading. Kind of the bulk of the monetary value is here in the hollows. But the reason why I bought the collection is because of the first page of the binder. And unfortunately, I don't have the binder put together, and I actually sent in a couple of the cards already to be graded. But I can show you at least. So he had Lugia from Neo Genesis, probably the most iconic Lugia card ever created. He had 2 of these, so I sent 1 in to be graded already, and as kind of like a test, because it has a little bit of a binder dent on one side. So I'm assuming that that's going to bring it down quite a bit, but I want to see just how much. So we have Lugia, just iconic. There were 2 of them on the front page, which is sick. There's also a Japanese Charizard, and probably the coolest swirl you could possibly get on a Japanese Charizard, coming right out the mouth, right next to the flame. This, what really sold me on buying this entire thing was like, this card is just so gorgeous. And actually it's actually quite clean too on the back. It definitely has a little dings here and there, but it could get a 9, maybe. It's well off center. Maybe it'll get an 8, 8.5, something like that. Maybe a 9 for lucky, but that would be pretty sick. We also have Dark Charizard, which this card is very clean too. We got a little corner wear there, but nothing serious. And we have an English Dark Charizard. This one is definitely got some issues. You can see got some corner wear here, a little corner ding up there. But maybe an 8, maybe a 7, maybe an 8, something like that. Very, very iconic card. And all of these I'll be keeping in my collection because I don't have them yet. I have a base set Charizard in a CGC 8.5, which is the highest Charizard that I've graded so far. So if I grade a higher one, then I'll keep that one. But I definitely will be keeping this guy. I'll be keeping these two. I'll be keeping the Lugia. These will go in my personal collection. And on top of this, there were 2 base set Charizards. So 2 base set unlimited Charizards that I also sent in to be graded. One of them in pretty decent condition. One of them kind of beat up. But overall, I mean, for the amount of money that I spent and for all these extremely clean looking holos, I would say most of which hopefully will get, you know, an 8. I would say most of these will probably come back 7 to 8.5, I would think. A couple maybe a 9, but I would say mostly 7 to 8.5. Maybe some of the ones with the creases around, you know, a 6, 5, or 6 because of the crease. I'm not 100% sure how much that will actually affect everything, but I just think overall I was super happy with this purchase, especially with some of the bigger cards that we were able to get, the 2 Lugias, the 3 Charizards, all that stuff. Super excited to get these graded just because I haven't sent in very many vintage cards, and kind of the vintage Pokemon is kind of where I'm transitioning into. I really like opening the modern sets and stuff, but I'll be doing that a lot less and kind of going and purchasing a lot more old school cards, especially Japanese old school cards. So God damn cat. Get your tail out of the video, you turd. Stop it. Okay. I'm gonna move this over here. So, some cards that I've purchased recently. Rocket's Mewtwo, very cool looking card. Blaine's Moltres with a crazy double swirl. Look at that thing. So gorgeous. These cards are all like mint, near mint. I'm really hoping that they get, you know, 9s plus on most of these. First edition starters for Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile. First edition Dark Charmeleon, which is very clean. A Mew from, I think, Legend Maker. I think that's the right one. Or maybe the Zapdos is from Legend Maker. One of them's from Legend Maker. Zapdos G. And then one of my favorite Charizard cards, the Radiant Collection Charizard from Generations, I think. Very, very cool card. And this is a very clean version of that card. Definitely needed that. And a Theme Deck promo Blastoise from Heart Gold Soul Silver, I think. So yeah, I've been picking up some cards here and there. I've actually been asking my Discord like to give me random numbers, and I choose a set based on that, and then I buy a card from that set. So it's been a very fun kind of interactive thing we've been doing in Discord. You could definitely join the Discord in the link in the description if you're interested. But yeah, that's the big collection I bought recently. I'm gonna send a lot of these cards in, especially these cards right now. I'll be sending those in soon to be graded. These cards I will send in if the bulk prices ever come down. And these cards are currently up on my eBay right now. Link in the description. The auctions will probably be done by the time this video goes up, so unfortunately you won't be able to get in on any of these cards. But when these cards come back, and a lot of my CGC cards are up there right now, if you want to purchase any cards. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming in. I know this was kind of much more chill video, a lot less hype, just going over a recent collection purchase, but I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And if you know information about creases on cards, like small creases or small dents, and how much that can impact the card, let me know, because you know, if it makes more sense to not send some of these cards in that have creases, I was gonna do it much more for an educational experience. But if you know already and you say like, yeah, do not send that card in because it will get dinged, you know, down to like a 5 or something like that, then I will listen to you, and I will probably sell them without getting them graded. But yeah, I'm be sending a lot of these in to get graded. Hopefully have them back within the next 2 years. And we'll go over the grades, and that'd be awesome. So yeah, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it today, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.